Welcome back to my series, Dance Mums Unedited. This is the series where we look at production notes written by the producers of Dance Mums. They show us what really happened behind the scenes of particular episodes. Today we're kicking off a new season by looking at Season 6, Episode 1. As always, there will be a link in the description box below which will take you to a PDF of these notes so you can read through them in further detail, because there was more to this episode than the producers cared to show. The season begins with the mums and girls greeting one another outside the ALDC-LA. Melissa informs everyone that she has taken guardianship of Kalani in Kira's absence. She also brags that Maddie is filming a movie this week. Although the notes don't mention which movie it was, we know based on the date that the movie Maddie was filming this week was The Book of Henry. The rest of the girls go inside and speculate on whether or not Abby will bring in a replacement for Maddie. They also wonder what Abby's mood will be like, since LA has made her crazy so far. Then Abby calls everyone in for Pyramid. She tells them that the ALDC is her brand, so the girls need to stay on top. Holly retorts that she can't be too concerned about her brand given the way that she acts at competitions. Abby announces that there will be a moratorium on anything but dance. Jill argues that the reason why they came to LA was to take advantage of other opportunities. She also points out that Maddie is currently away on a job, so the rule mustn't apply to her. She and Abby begin to scream at one another, with Jill bringing up the fact that Kendall missed an opportunity to compete over the summer because of Abby's bad management. Abby accuses Jill of being a liar, and Kendall gets mad at her mum for fighting with Abby. Kendall storms out of the room, followed closely by Jill. The pair do end up returning to the studio though. Abby tells everyone that she is in charge of Kendall's music career, even outright stating that she owns Kendall K. The mums gang up on Abby, claiming that Abby ruined the girls' chance to work with Tassandra, a choreographer who appeared briefly in Season 5. Production was clearly still defending Abby by not showing any of these accusations in the episode. Then Abby moves on to Pyramid. She tells the girls that since they lost at Nationals, they're all on the bottom. Maddie is last because she isn't there and she lost with her Nationals solo. Next is Nia because her solo came in second place. Mackenzie is above her, even though her solo came in fourth at Nationals. She is followed by Jojo and Kendall, and then Abby announces that Kalani is on top because her mum isn't there this week. Abby then brings Ashley and Bryn into the room. She announces that the name of the group dance is The Girl in the Plastic Bubble, and assigns Bryn a solo called Coronation. She says that the final solo was supposed to be Maddie's, but now she doesn't know who to give it to. Wrapping up Pyramid, it is announced that an anonymous person sent an ice cream truck for the team to enjoy. Clearly this was organised by production. For the rest of the episode, the cast doesn't once question where the truck came from. The mums discuss Kira's absence due to her pregnancy, and Jess tells Melissa that by taking Kalani, she's ruined the one-on-one time that she could have shared with Mackenzie. Jill asks Ashley if she will follow Abby's moratorium, but Ashley says that she won't until Abby shows that she is investing in Bryn. Jill then questions if Ashley and Bryn will be team members, or if they will just be replacements for when Maddie is absent. Ashley then calls out Melissa for her behaviour on the set of Dancing with the Stars. She claims that when their daughters performed as guests on the show, Melissa kept saying that Bryn was just a backup dancer for Maddie. Melissa denies this accusation though. In group rehearsals, the girls are shocked that one of them will be dancing in a giant plastic bubble. Abby hasn't decided who will be in the bubble yet, but Jojo tests it out in the meantime. After rehearsal, Jill pulls Kendall aside to discuss their pyramid meltdown. When Abby asks them what is going on, Jill explains that Kendall is fed up with being told that she is not good enough. Kendall says that she's done with all of this, and Jill seems to be considering taking Kendall off the team. The mums take Kendall away from the drama, and Abby suggests that she should take the time to decide what she wants to do moving forward. Over at BDA, the mums talk about Nationals and wonder if Abby has lost it. Liza says that Holly is the only ALDC mum who showed any class. The girls tell their mums that they feel as though they've been shunned by the ALDC team since their win. When Jeanette and Ava arrive, Liza tells Jeanette that she's upset that Hayley and Melanie were kicked off the team. Jeanette claims that she chose to send them away because Melanie's behaviour was inappropriate. She tells her team that they're going to do a revamped version of the waiting room. Then she brings Mackenzie and Gavin Morales into the room and gives Gavin a solo. Renee explains to the other mums that Abby is close friends with the people who run Sheer Talent, thinking that it may affect the results at the competition this weekend. Jeanette reveals that she has a personal connection to the waiting room concept, and she doesn't believe that Abby's dance did it justice. After watching BDA's group dance, Liza worries that Ava is turning into their own team's Maddie. She begins to cry about it, and Jeanette tells her that Ava is only in the front and centre because she is so tall. The next day, Jill pulls Kendall aside. She assures her that she only wanted to call out Abby's bad management, not to get in a fight with her. As the team settles into the studio, Kendall FaceTimes Maddie. Jill tells the mums that she and Abby aren't seeing eye to eye on Kendall's career. She says that she will no longer pass up opportunities that come Kendall's way, saying that she has missed out on enough by being under Abby's management. Abby tells the mums that she has organised a class for them to take the following day while the girls are in rehearsals. Then Abby enters the studio to see Maddie on Gianna's laptop. She asks her whether she would feel ready to compete a solo this weekend. Maddie says that she doesn't want a solo, but would like to be part of the group dance if possible. Ashley tells the other mums that she received a series of furious text messages from Kira. The mums deny telling Kira anything, showing Ashley their text chains with Kira as proof. When Melissa and Jill explain their reasons for walking out at Nationals, Ashley actually agrees with their actions. Holly reminds the mums that walking out is not helping Abby's brand. Ashley then calls out Jess for some of the comments that she made about Bryn earlier in the day. The pair begin to argue about who is more desperate to be part of the team. Ashley says that Jess is threatened by the new cute blonde on the team and calls JoJo obnoxious. Meanwhile, in rehearsals, Abby says that Maddie was supposed to be the untouchable one who was in the bubble, but since she's away, she wants JoJo to play the part of someone confined to a bubble instead. Gianna tells Abby that without Maddie to lead, the girls are struggling. She also accuses the girls of rolling their eyes when she told them that they rely too much on Maddie. Abby says that this is why she puts Maddie on a pedestal. It's not bratty for kids to be upset when adults constantly compare them to their friends. Did they expect the girls to love being portrayed as inferior to Maddie over and over on national television? Abby then gives JoJo the second solo for proving herself in group rehearsals. She then calls Kendall out for crying the previous day, telling her to put an end to it. As JoJo begins to rehearse, Kendall asks if she can speak to Abby. She shares a list that she wrote of the pros and cons of being on the team. They get emotional when Abby reads that Kendall misses her old studio and her father, who is back in Pittsburgh. Jess then interrupts the conversation and demands that Abby spends more time on JoJo's solo. Abby seems annoyed, saying that an extra 10 minutes probably won't make much of a difference for JoJo. Back at BDA, Jeanette realises that she's missed a call from Holly and calls her back. Jill answers the call, asking what Jeanette's Instagram post was about. Jeanette confirms that they're doing a waiting room dance. Jill also asks them if they have a piece on their team, wanting to know if their team is the same as last year. This is a very blunt and weird way to ask. Why wouldn't you just ask who's on the team? She denies that the ALDC walked out of Nationals, and Liza accuses them of trying to take away BDA's victory by doing that. After the call, Jo says that she's afraid of what Abby will do to her kids if they beat the ALDC this week. Jeanette assures her that she will do whatever she can to protect the kids. Jeanette also tells the mums that she saw another waiting room group dance that was performed by another studio before Abby did it. The mums express concern that Renee is still in touch with Abby, and she declares that she wants to be on the winning team, no matter who it may be. Renee doesn't think that it's anyone's business who she texts, but she claims that she's still loyal to BDA. The following day, the ALDC discuss the corrections that Abby has given to each dancer. Holly blames Abby for needing to do this, saying that not providing classes last season has tarnished the girls' technique. Abby joins the conversation, ranting that Kendall doesn't work as hard as she thinks she does. Kendall replies, saying, "I'm not good enough." No matter what you think of Kendall as a person, it's really sad to hear how defeated she was this week. Abby starts rehearsals with Bryn's solo, and Ashley tells the mums that she thinks Abby wants Bryn to win this week. She hints that Maddie is outgrowing the team, and reminds Jess of how badly Abby didn't want JoJo to be part of the team last season. Jill becomes upset when she reflects on the past few days, declaring that she won't fight with Abby in front of Kendall anymore. Jess then tells Ashley that Bryn is the backup dancer and brags about JoJo being the star of the group dance. Ashley knows that Abby craves control, and she asks Melissa what Abby is going to do when Maddie doesn't need her anymore. Melissa responds, claiming that Abby will always be in Maddie's career. Well, that didn't age well. But in all seriousness, I do think that it's a good thing that Abby and the Zieglers parted ways. The way that they were dependent on one another was not healthy. Ashley asks Abby if she wants Bryn to stay for good. Abby says yes, and reminds her that nothing Jess says matters. Jess continues to insult Bryn's dancing, and Ashley screams for her to stop picking on Bryn. The mums then participate in a fitness class, which was intended to be aired as a webisode. I searched quite extensively to see if this footage was ever aired, and so far I haven't found anything. Perhaps nothing really interesting happened, so they decided not to use the footage. Abby then gives the team new jackets. She hands Bryn Kalani's jacket to wear temporarily. Competition day begins with BDA waiting for the ALDC to arrive. When they do, they call them out for being sore losers at nationals. Abby approaches Renee, telling her that she's sorry that she didn't get to see her in New York. Then she walks over to have a chat with the competition owner. In the green room, Maddie recalls her experience on set in New York. When Ashley once again mentions that Maddie is outgrowing the team, Melissa and Abby claim that competitions are keeping her humble and grounded. Bryn seems nervous, and Abby makes it worse by telling Bryn that she looked like a scared puppy last time that she competed with them, and must not be intimidated again. When the soloists leave, Ashley and Jess are left alone in the dressing room. They yell at one another about whether or not Bryn can be Maddie's replacement. Jess reams Ashley for not knowing how to sew, and Ashley claims that she has never met a dance mum like Jess. In the BDA green room, Liza accuses Renee of sucking up to Abby. Renee says that what she does in her private time is none of their concern. The mums speculate that the bubble dance was inspired by another dance that used the same prop. Backstage, Ashley gives Bryn a pep talk. Bryn and Gavin perform their solos, but then the competition owner tells Abby that she had not registered a second solo for JoJo. After some brief confusion, Abby registers the solo on the spot, and JoJo is allowed to perform. Her solo, Own It, was not in the episode itself, but you can watch the full thing on YouTube. Following the solos, Jess accuses Bryn of being scared and needing her mother backstage. Ashley retorts that JoJo's dance consisted mostly of turns because that's all she can do. The other ALDC mums jump to JoJo's defense. The BDA team then confronts the ALDC in the hallway. Jeanette calls Abby out for not knowing the competition's rules. She explains that JoJo will probably be disqualified for exiting the stage at the front. In the green room, Abby tells JoJo that even though she is building a brand for herself with her bows and loud personality, she needs to focus on her technique. Jill mentions that Kendall has an audition in a few days and plans to attend, regardless of whether or not Abby approves. Jess points out that the girls don't need Abby, but Abby needs the girls because they are the essence of her brand. Meanwhile, in the BDA dressing room, Jeanette points out that one of the judges was taking selfies with Abby. She tells her team that sheer talent is essentially Abby's competition. After the ALDC group dance, production brings BDA's props onto the stage. BDA waits in the wings for a moment before performing, and Abby starts screaming from the audience that they are breaking the rules. The BDA mums accuse Abby of breaking the rules too with JoJo's solo, and Abby begins to cause an absolute scene. The announcer, Kevin, explains that BDA is disqualified due to the delay before their performance. BDA becomes furious. The crowd begins to boo and Jeanette chases after Kevin, insisting that their dance was never even announced. Backstage, the ALDC tries to encourage the kids to go out and dance anyway. Eventually, BDA is allowed to dance. This time, Jeanette and their choreographer Kristen bring out the chairs themselves. At awards, Bryn wins first in the preteen solo division and first overall. Gavin comes second in the preteen solo division, and JoJo's solo doesn't place. The ALDC group dance wins first in the teen group division, and BDA comes in second place in the same division. Neither of these groups win the overall group award though. Both teams meet up in the hallway, where Jeanette claims that the judges came up to her and told her that they had scored BDA higher than the ALDC, and don't know how the ALDC won. Jill says that the same thing happened to the ALDC at Nationals. It's crazy that some of the mums on the show still try to claim that all of the competitions were perfectly legitimate when accusations like this were being tossed around. In the green room, Abby tells the girls that they never want to win just because someone else broke a rule. Nonetheless, she says that Bryn and the group deserved their win. Then Jojo steps out of the room and returns with a cake. On the cake is a bobblehead of Abby in a plastic bubble. The week concludes with Abby announcing that she is currently scouting talent for a mini-team, and she invites Bryn to join the team again next week. And with that, we've reached the end of episode 1. What do you think about Abby's treatment of Kendall, Jess and Ashley's drama, and the BDA group debacle? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!